Bucknutters, welcome to the Morning Five on Monday, September 15th, 2014. I am Dave Biddle, and I'm joined by the People's Champ, Matt Baxendale. Bax, Noah Spence has been indefinitely ruled ineligible by Ohio State. Sounds like he's definitely going to be out the rest of the season, in my opinion. The question now is what happens to Noah in the future. Let's hope he gets the help he needs. Let's assume he is going to play football again, Bax. Do you think he'll come back to Ohio State next year? Do you think he'll try his hand at the NFL? Do you think he'll transfer? I've heard people say they think he's going to transfer. That doesn't make any sense to me. If he's going to play college football, why not stay at Ohio State, get the help he needs, sit out this season, come back next year? That's what I think will happen. What say thee, Bax?
Well, I think the only logical argument you can make for him having to transfer is that there's been a lot of scuttlebutt about some nebulous Big Ten rule that if you get caught twice on a drug test, you're suspended permanently or something. I don't know what the validity of that is. I certainly know that there's an appeals process to it. I do agree with the idea that Noah Spence is going to be done for the season. We're not going to see him this year. I don't think there's a chance Tally goes to the NFL draft because teams are going to look at him and say, you didn't even play last year because of the second positive drug test. We need to see production on the field from you. You know, it's not like a situation like, say, Dorial Green Beckham, who was ineligible to play because he got thrown off his team because he did stupid stuff. But in the end, I mean, this is just a sad situation across the board. It's sad because Noah Spence apparently does have a serious drug problem. I don't think any of us actually believe the whole somebody slipped the 250-pound football player ecstasy excuse that we got said last December. I mean, I don't know how anybody can believe that. I mean, I hope Urban was not being serious when he said he was shocked by the second positive result. I mean, you don't just get slipped ecstasy for the heck of it if you're a college football player. But I think the other thing to take out of this is that it's not just a shame for Noah Spence, it's a shame for Jamal Marcus, who, if he had had his ego in check, would be playing a ton right now. Instead, he couldn't get himself together properly and had to transfer. And it's a shame for the Buckeye football team at large because Noah Spence would have been a huge contributor. I think he'll be back next year. I think this is going to be set up where they treat this year like the suspension that it is. Hopefully he gets himself help, and then he'll be able to get back. In our society, that people who make mistakes, especially when it comes to drugs and stuff, people are more willing to forgive them and give them a second chance. This would be Noah Spence's second chance because I think you have to look at this as one big drug-related sidelining, if you will. So I think he'll be back next year, and hopefully he's back better than ever.
And without Noah Spence this year, one guy I think we're going to see play maybe a lot more than we were going to see play is Jalen Holmes. I thought he looked good against Kent State. Making his debut out there, number 10, and he, in my opinion, has the highest ceiling of any of the edge rushers with Noah Spence out. You know, Steve Miller, he's holding the fort down, but he's not going to be a guy that's going to be a difference maker. Same thing with Rashard Frazier, he's not a difference maker. Tyquan Lewis, I'm not sure yet if he's going to be the type of guy that's going to be able to get a lot of sacks off the edge. Jalen Holmes is that one guy that I think has a high ceiling. Let's talk about the true freshmen that have played so far. 11 true freshmen have played, and if you didn't play against Kent State, you're not playing. So if you haven't played so far, you're redshirting. The 11 true freshmen that have played, Curtis Samuel, Johnny Dixon, Noah Brown, Jamarco Jones, Marcellus Jones, as I mentioned, Jalen Holmes, Raekwon McMillan, who should be starting, Dante Booker, Damon Webb, Eric Smith, and Sean Nurnberger. Let's talk about the true freshmen. Is anybody surprising you one way or the other? That the fact they are playing, that they're not playing enough, like Raekwon McMillan again, as I mentioned that. Just talk about the true freshmen, anything that surprises you so far, Bax.
I'm surprised we haven't seen more Noah Brown in terms of major, actual, important time minutes because the guy is our biggest receiver this side of Michael Thomas, and we know the receiving core definitely needs a little more size to it. I'm not surprised, but I'm disappointed that Fickle's pulling his usual foot dragging when it comes to putting his best linebackers on the field because Raekwon McMillan's a freshman. Remember Ryan Shazier a couple years ago where it took 10 games to start him over Storm Klein, despite the fact that he was doing exactly what McMillan was doing now of coming on the field, kicking butt, and taking names. By the way, Shazier, it wasn't like they were saving him for the future. He was a three-and-done kid, just like McMillan's going to be. Anybody who has two eyeballs knows McMillan's the better player than Grant already, and he's only going to get better. So why he's not on the field is starting every meaningful down the rest of the season. If he's not, is to me another giant red flag of major concern. And unlike last year where we're not just bashing Fickle on a daily basis, the truth of the matter is that this defense, the linebackers who's playing is Fickle's call. This needs to be Raekwon McMillan. And then one note on Jalen Holmes. He's the guy, I remember seeing him at Friday Night Lights and going, well, that's the first guy off the bus. I mean, that guy, he fit the prototype perfectly. Now, I don't know how much he's going to actually play. I'm disappointed we haven't seen Tyquan Lewis play more after the big spring performance he had. But I do think Jalen Holmes is a player that it may not be this year where he really makes a major impact, but I think going down the line, he's going to be a very good one for Ohio State.
On the site today, Bill Kurlick has his What I Am Hearing column posted. It includes items on Drew Richmond, Josh Myers, A.J. Alexander, and Tommy Kramer. That is for subscribers only, so if you're not a subscriber, try our 30-day free trial. We'll also have the boarding house posted around noon for subscribers today. There is no Urban Meyer press conference today, with this being a bye week for the Buckeyes. We'll hear from Coach Meyer tomorrow on the Big Ten teleconference, and we will interview him after Wednesday's practice. Thank you to the People's Champ, Matt Baxendale. Thank you to all the listeners out there. Take it away, best damn band in the land.